if you guys know this. There's like a male loneliness epidemic. You guys know. Clap it up if you heard of the male loneliness. Yeah, just the women. That's cool. And
so apparently there's a male loneliness epidemic where men everywhere are hopeless, alone, and unable to find love altogether. And honestly, we don't even have to start with love. Let's just talk about female interaction in general. At least that's what my TikTok feed tells me in between J Guapo videos and women eating isopods at a restaurant in Japan. Here's my controversial take though. I don't think it's an epidemic at all. What I think it is men convincing themselves that it's over before it even started, and a lot of women doing what women do and posting high standards that aren't even a reflection of their own lives. By the way, right now I don't have an editor, so I'm gonna give it to you guys raw. This video wasn't going to be edited that much, so until further notice, I hope you... So the male loneliness epidemic. I've been seeing it all over my feed, at least for the past month. I might be a little late at this point, but it is what it is. It's basically what it sounds like. Men are lonely. They're not getting interaction with women. They're not being put in the typical situations to find a romantic partner. And there's a bunch of other reasoning that people talk about when it comes to this subject. Honestly, I mainly see women talking about it. But quite frankly, bro, I feel like it's bullshit. First of all, can we just acknowledge that online dating discourse is heavily exaggerated? Women post about having high standards, nothing more than engagement, and to fool people into thinking that they're living lives that they're really not. How many times have you seen posts from 304s with 5 kids talking about,
I know my value, I didn't need no man to tell me.
Yeah, they agree, because they didn't tell you. They left, and they left the child. The point is, like, the post just isn't a reflection of who they actually are. And I think one of the major issues that arises with discourse like this online is that whether it's an accurate depiction of women or not, men see it, and they internalize it. And so they think that they don't even have a chance talking to or dating a woman or anything even happens. Reality is, like, most women are happy to talk to people in real life that are just friendly, exude some level of confidence, and they're respectful. They're not catcalling you on the street. This leads men into thinking that because they're not 6'5" with $1 million and an overgrown zucchini bulging out of their gray sweats, that they can't even talk to a woman. But I need men to understand that what people post on social media is not always their reality. If you really talk to girls, if they are making these types of remarks about men and the type of men that they want, yeah, that's an ideal situation for them, in the same way that most people would like to be rich in life, but everyone doesn't always end up rich. Yeah, it's an ideal situation to be with an attractive man with a lot of money, because a lot of money solves most people's immediate problems. That's just not the reality of things. People take the words of other people on social media like way too seriously. A place where they're incentivized to post crazy and relatable things for engagement, and then they're just taking that and running with it as fact. I know girls personally that post every other day about hating men that love me, that are willing to have a conversation with men. They're genuinely good people, but it takes literally nothing to wake up and post, I hate women. This girl just got me mad. Men don't talk to me. Especially in an ecosystem where that's all that's being fed to you is creepy men, and girls in the comments saying, man, men shouldn't approach me. Oh, I don't want any man approaching me ever again. Because of one creep that decided that beating his meat in public was something that he had to do. And I'm not saying that there's no truth to any of the things that women post on social media. I'm not saying that it doesn't even always reflect how they're actually feeling in the moment. I'm just saying that it's not the end-all be-all. How many things did you post last year that you think is cringe now and you regret, or you posted based off of emotion? So men, stop internalizing it and just thinking like, I have no chance because most women just hate men, because these same women have to be getting their backs blown out by somebody. They don't hate men enough to just abstain from them altogether, right? Inevitably, the same women that complain about men see they're still dating men. You see they're getting in these relationships. And quite frankly, for you to be so passionate about something, it had to have meant something to you in the first place. If women really walked around life not caring about men at all, or just not being worried about them, then how could you even get to a place where you hate them? You had to have dealt with them in some aspect before and had a bad experience. But do you think they post about it because they just don't want to do it anymore? No. But if it was really something that they came to the conclusion was so bad and just didn't want to deal with it anymore, why do you think they're passionately arguing about it on social media? Because they obviously care about it. If you're not the type of man that doesn't need to be around women, then go talk to some women. I promise you it's not that deep. Too many men write themselves off before even making a move, right? If you believe in the male loneliness epidemic, real quick, can I just ask you a question? Okay. How many women have you talked to in the last weak. Go ahead. Oh, 0? Then congratulations, you've diagnosed the problem. There's now a learned hopelessness. Stop letting this dictate your actions, guys. It's like refusing to apply for a job because you looked on Twitter and it said no one's hiring. Yeah, there is a source that may or may not confirm your suspicion, but just go see it for yourself. If every decision you had to make in your life was based off of a social media post or something that you've seen on TV or the internet, you would literally do nothing. Your bills wouldn't get paid, you wouldn't have a roof over your head. And the thing is, to a degree, I get it. To a degree, it's comforting to believe that the problem is out of your control. Blaming society, women, dating apps, Twitter, it alleviates the responsibility from off of your shoulders. In fact, it's why the manosphere thrives, because it gives people a villain to blame, instead of acknowledging that everyone is flawed to a degree, but trying to navigate through the flaws to ultimately get not only what you want, but what is beneficial to you. Are you guys noticing, at least in my experience, maybe you guys have seen something else, but like, yo, most of the voices that I hear talking about male loneliness is women. Like, it doesn't fail. So now you have a bunch of men who aren't talking to women because of things that they heard from women, and now the women are giving those same men advice about how to solve a problem that was never a problem to begin with. I don't want to hear that the NBA is impossible to get into from someone who can't put the ball between their legs. And I'm not saying that women cannot have a perspective on this issue. I'm just saying don't take advice for people that don't have your best interests at heart, or people offering you perspective based upon a low-stakes situation of posting something for engagement, right? They're not even incentivized to give you guys the right advice. So I place zero blame upon the women in this situation. But the men that give into this male loneliness epidemic, wake up, bro. Go outside and touch some grass. Go talk to some women. Like, you could just talk to a dude and just tell that he has not experienced the touch, a hug, or the words of a woman in like 7 years, bro. And it's men that fall for shit like this. But I'm not just here to complain about the situation. I'm here to give you guys some advice. I'm not saying to look at these women on Twitter and just write off everything that they're saying just because they're women. I'm not saying to bash the women or men pushing certain narratives. I'm not even saying not to interact with it or not to take in the information that they're giving you guys. I'm just saying at least gain the experience within your own life to compare that information to something else. I'm just saying that at least if you're going to internalize the words of some random people on social media pushing a very interesting and questionable agenda, at least compare that to the reality of your own life based upon what you have done. Never talk to a girl before in your life, and you have no women in your life other than your mother, who still has to tell you to clean yourself properly sometimes. It is very understandable that you are going to go on Twitter and see a lot of these women who probably do hate men complaining about a male loneliness epidemic and immediately think like, oh, well, I guess I just can't talk to women, or, you know? But that is only because you have not done it in your own life. You don't have the anecdotal information based upon your own lived experiences to come to your own conclusion. So go talk to some women. Don't overthink rejection. It's never usually personal. Just focus on genuine interaction over pickup tactics. And if you feel like you do this and you still get rejected, then you're still getting rejected, then maybe you're doing something wrong. I feel like when most men talk to women nowadays, they're focused too much on like pickup tactics and executing the perfect move to get her to like me. And like they're trying to like min-max the situation, like break it down to some sort of meta, like the new dribbling style in 2K for that season. And it's like, no, just have a human interaction, let the conversation flow, and I promise you your interactions with not only women but people in general will just start getting better. I guarantee you that if you talk to at least 10 women within the span of a month, at least one of them will respond positively, assuming that you don't stink or go outside looking like an idiot. And that's definitely better odds than 0. And you know what makes your odds 0? Sitting inside, scrolling all day, listening to misandrous and incels complain about male loneliness. Like, go outside and touch some fucking grass, you bitch. And I'm not telling y'all niggas to sit there and look smacks or anything. Just apply basic effort to your life. Don't stink, wear some decent clothes, and at least fucking pretend to be confident. I wouldn't even say that I'm confident in every aspect of my life, but when I'm not, I sure do pretend, and I feel like it brings me a better outcome than if I didn't. So yeah, improve your life, not your dating stats. And this isn't about denying that loneliness does exist, but it's about rejecting the idea that it's inevitable. I'd rather hear someone complain about being rejected by one girl than hearing somebody say that they'll never talk to a girl because of some shit that they seen online. Granted, I don't think anyone should be complaining about rejection at all, but you get the point. The real epidemic isn't loneliness, scrolling on your phone for 6 hours compared to anything else that you're seeing on your phone. The world is vast and it exists past the internet. It exists past TikTok. It exists past fucking hentai haven. Get off this video, go outside, touch some grass, and go talk to some girls. And tell me how it goes. You might like it. That's the rant, and I'm out.